Standard time.
Hello.
All right. Says we're live. Let me see when it shows up on YouTube. Oh, I'm not subscribed to myself. I probably won't see. Never mind.
Wow.
How do you subscribe to yourself? You don't. Unless you get other.
I have a separate YouTube that I like has been my original account for years that I have. That's a different one.
Yeah. I've thought about that and then I'm like, no, I'm way too lazy for any of that. So no can do. But
hell no, we won't go. I get it.
Okay, so if you are familiar with my channel, this is today's video. So there's that. Heather, Kia BookTubes, talk about romance. Jess, introduce your famous self.
I'm not
your merch again.
Oh my god,
as one does.
I feel like I wear Mara's more than I
know.
Wear what?
Her merch.
I wear Mara. I personally explained the process to you, Deborah. I mean, that's an iconic piece.
It is. So, I have it in a sticker.
I think I have a sticker as well. I think. Look at you. I love it.
I need to buy some Brie merch. I bought like the stickers and bookmark and stuff, but then you added all the shirts and hoodies. I'm like, oh, I really need that.
Actually, I got a better drop coming soon. I'm gonna.
Oh snap! With the drop.
With the drop.
Make it hot. Sorry.
Not the wet.
No, we're not.
I had to blink it out. Right.
Maybe I should have bet on Jess being the one to
get
first.
You should have.
I was watching people's I was trying to look on YouTube to see if people had other scales and stuff like talking about, and I don't know, there weren't many, but I was like, I don't know. But I think whose channel? Huh?
What?
I was trying to look at other people. I was watching people's YouTube videos, only a couple though, who had like their heat levels.
Oh.
I watched like a couple and it was funny the differences between like if somebody said 3 peppers, let's say, and this other person, I was like, they didn't align. Like this person definitely was like, oh, it's definitely more spicier. So
Brie from 11 Words, she has bullet journal stickers that are like heat level. They're like hearts on fire that you can color in. I'm like, I don't know if I would remember to do that, but it's really cute. So we're here to talk about our mutual love for the spiciest book.
All right, goodbye.
That has ever been recommended.
First off, I don't know if it's mutual.
No.
It definitely has.
Am I
roping us in?
Am I right that this is like the thing that started you wanting to vent on a live, Jess? Was this book being recommended to you? A spicy.
Well, it wasn't. Yes, the premise, aside, my thing is like, I don't even need spice in a romance to enjoy it. But when people are like, this was spicy, I felt bamboozled, and I don't like that.
By the one sex scene at like 90%.
Yes, swindled, Brie. Yeah, the one that's like swindled, bamboozled, led astray.
There's one sex scene, and it's just like a regular.
Yeah,
scene. Like there's literally nothing special about it at all whatsoever. You could even argue that it's not that great.
Oh shucks, I was gonna read it.
Listen, I liked it, but spicy.
But it's not spicy. No, the TikTok children's. I don't know what they.
Not the TikTok children.
The babies. Heather, you're not on TikTok, are you?
No.
Don't do it.
I was like at the beginning of the pandemic, and then I forgot my sign-in information, and I've literally never bothered to do anything.
That's me right now. That's me right now on Twitch. I'm struggling.
On Twitch?
Yeah, I thought I knew my login and it was fake news. I don't know it.
I just can't keep up with all these things. Every time I buy something from Ulta, which is usually every couple of months, I have to reset my password every time because I don't remember it.
And then it's like the new password cannot be the same as the old one. It's like, you know what it was. I was already typing it.
I'm out of passwords. I now have Apple just recommend me a password. I can't do it anymore.
I gave the Love Hypothesis 5 stars.
I love that for you, Shauna.
It was not.
Did you request her next one on NetGalley? I saw that.
No.
It's on.
Me?
Yeah.
Shauna,
I don't do NetGalley. I don't do ARCs. I would read like maybe 4 ARCs a year.
Yeah, Book Talk is just so behind. I watch like a couple people, but for the most part, I skip right past those, and I'm like, give me the skincare and the cleaning TikToks.
I think it's I shouldn't even say that it's mostly younger people, but I feel like creators of Book Talk tend to get their recommendations from Book Talk, so it's just whatever is already popular there. And it is behind, which there's nothing wrong with reading backlists.
Yeah.
Like I do it literally all the time. But
it's like when they're like, oh, I discovered this hidden gem. And you're like, no. Yeah.
Okay. But you can have romance and erotica be like the same thing if it's basically erotica with an HEA.
What's an HEA?
Happily Ever After.
So we're talking about Christina C. Jones, Alexandria House.
Alexandria House is on my list to talk about because her scenes are like fire.
Do you have a rating scale, or
it would be through the roof?
Yes, that's what I need.
And Alexandria House, all of her holiday novellas are like pure smut. And then she also does the mixtapes, which are amazing if you read her other books, because the mixtapes are just like sex scenes of her different couples. And she doesn't say who it is at the beginning of the scene. She says their name like at the end of the scene. But like her couples are different. They all have their own vibes and stuff. And I love like trying to guess who I'm reading about. It's great. She writes really good stuff.
I need to try some of her.
You should have tried yesterday.
I'm so sorry. I'm reading mediocre, okay?
Bree doesn't read a lot of romance, but she is not a baby spice.
I am a baby spice.
What you read is like top tier smut. Like top tier.
Because I get it from folks like you. I got Nicole in my back pocket. Nicole, and I have Nicole's script. So sometimes I be see her reading some shit. And I'll be like, let me go see what she reading.
Nicole does read.
Hang around the romance tubers and you will be.
I need to put on like Goodreads, the shit that I be reading, because I don't be doing it as much.
You embarrassed? Are you hiding it? Are you ashamed?
I am a little bit. There was this one time I read something called The Vagina Something. And I was like, I can't put this on the internet. Even though I just did, but that was many years ago.
That's funny.
Yes. I feel like traditional publishing is like, we can't have all this. Tone it down a little bit.
Yeah, sometimes. For literally everything. For culture, for smut, for language, for you name it. It's like, no, it has to be bland enough to appeal to millions of people.
Yeah.
Without offending them.
Indie's like, I do what I want.
Yeah, indie is nice in general, I find.
Yeah, I'm doing a video in February, I think, about why indie is better.
I don't like the word spicy because I think they're also trying to come at a Latinx person and be, you know, I don't know. I get some flashbacks to the foolishness people be saying.
Steam levels.
Yeah.
I feel like
Steam is the best.
Maybe it's Book Talk, but Steam levels in romance, because there's definitely, and like I said, I can enjoy one, but just don't sell me on the premise of like, oh my gosh, it's so steamy, and then I'm like, they looked at each other,
and that's the thing. Tension. It's a word. It's a word.
Yes. And I love sexual tension, but that is not steam. That's not the same.
Interchangeable. They don't mean the same thing. They're literally the opposite of each other. One is we really want something to happen, but nothing's happening, but you want it to happen because the author's giving you that desire. The other one is things are happening.
Yes.
And it's good. They're like literally the opposite.
Personally, I hate that I got sick, man. Anyway, personally,
I hate that for you.
I really do, because I'm like trying to get into the conversation and I'm losing energy.
You're allowed to leave.
Oh, I know, but I have FOMO, so I won't. I understand. FOMO is real. Shit, what was I even saying?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got it. This is the thing. Your girl love a fade to black. I'm waiting on one of you romance TikTokers to just give me a book where it's like, and then she grabbed him, next scene. I like that.
Okay.
I don't really need the smut. But if the smut is there, it's okay. But I want my imagination to take me places because I'm discovering things about myself that I just want to see in books. So that's
okay. See, I have literally no imagination, so I need to spell that for me.
Like, spell it out scene by scene.
I'm like, I can't picture them in my head. I don't know what they're talking about unless you tell me. I don't know.
I can picture
I need to know what the leg is.
I also would like to read it.
Exactly. Am I on top? Are you on top? Are we on the dishwasher?
The washing machine.
There we go. The washing machine, and if she says yes.
So in your points that you sent,
my point.
So you put what spicy or what steamy means to you,
right?
And for me, if someone says it's steamy, just a general, they say, "Oh yeah, that's pretty steamy." There's going to be a couple sex scenes, and they're going to be on page. We're getting descriptors, so we're moving past making out. We're getting down and dirty, and I'm reading it with my eyeballs, and I'm like, "Ooh, yes, I like this." Or, I mean, sometimes it's awkward, and I'm like, "That's weird how you're describing it." But that's steamy. If you tell me steamy and they just like hold hands and fade to black is not steamy to me.
Yeah, what is Helena talking about? Helena Uvana.
Probably a bot, a spam bot.
Helena, see you later, girl.
She's not a material girl.
All right, so I missed what we were saying because I was busy trying to remember how to block people.
How dare you?
It's okay because I think that's a Ukrainian name.
I
think.
Maybe. This is but it's not the name; it's the message.
Yeah, I don't even get it.
Probably.
I don't even get what it says. Steam level, right?
Yes.
When people say something is steamy, I think of one only sex scene because people are more timid and shy than we give them credit for. Not everybody are horny basket cases, So when I feel like somebody's just like, it's steamy, I'm like, okay, it's one sex scene, maybe a little finger bang or something. But then if someone is like, it's steamy, I'm like, oh, they are getting in the guts the whole time. Right? Like something is going down. But it depends on who tell me it's steamy. Like if Nicole tells me it's steamy, I know it's going down. You know what I'm saying?
For real though.
If my mama tell me it's steamy, I know it's going down. If one of my best friends who read more than any individual I ever met in my life tells me, I'm gonna be like, okay, Winslow, it goes down. But there are just some people who have never seen a phallic shape anything in their lives.
Yeah.
Or never even explored a vagine. And then they'd be like, okay, explore nothing. Don't know nothing. Probably not even interested in nothing, which is also fine.
Yes.
Something steamy and it's a kiss. And you're like, wait a minute here. So I just really feel like we got to really think about the source of who's telling us.
Very, very important.
I think that's very true. But also, if your entire job on the internet is to talk about books, then you should be semi-accurate in what you're describing and recommending. And if you're claiming to be a source for very steamy books, then those books need to have something in it. For instance, I'll just tell you, all the books I read have sex in them, unless I specifically say there were no sex scenes, or unless I specifically say there was one sex scene. If I don't say that, you can assume there's multiple, because adult romances, especially indies, tend to have quite a bit. For me, it's like steamy if there's multiple scenes and those scenes did something for you. If I was just skimming your sex scenes, I'm never in a million years going to recommend it as steamy, even if you had a lot on page, right? And I think that people sometimes confuse kinky and steamy as well, because you can have plain old vanilla sex and it be an incredibly well-written sex scene and be really hot, and you can also have they're trying like 7 different things in one scene and it works or it doesn't work. So writing anything, but especially sex scenes, it's such a skill, and if you have it, great, lead into it, and if you don't worry about it. There are plenty of books that don't need it and that readers do prefer.
I need a sex scene to also the characters to have an emotional attachment.
Same. I feel like that works for me infinitely better.
Because when it's like I'm getting his guts, I'm jacking off, whatever. Like I'm like, damn, just a wham bam, thank you, ma'am. There's no coffee involved.
No tea. Take me for dinner. I'm
like, now you're gonna treat me like a $2 hoe. Like I really $2. I'm worth $2. Like that's how you feel. Also, it's Monty. I definitely like fade to black over some cringy, dirty talk. There's been a couple DNFs. I ain't gonna lie. I low key do be reading romance. So Heather is not wrong. I do be just not telling folks. But this is what I'm gonna say. I just DNF'd a lot of romance because it'd be cringy. And to be honest, I be finding shit that I don't be hearing y'all talk about. And I felt like if I was deep into the romance, I would, be like, I'll read anything like Nicole. But
I think I like what you said, Heather, about like if I'm skimming the sex scene, that's not steamy, because there have been some where I'm like, all right, let's just get through this. When does this end? Like skimming over it. And not to bring up the love hypothesis again, but to me also, I just felt like even if I liked that book, that wasn't steamy, but then I also wasn't connected to them as characters or a couple. So I also wasn't invested in that scene. I was like, all right, they're fornicating, I guess. But when it's like people in love, I'm like, oh my God, yes.
I mean, same. Okay, let's talk about Kelly Hilbert, the Brown sisters, right?
Yes.
I love those. But if we be honest between me, y'all, and the internet, the chat room, I would have preferred at least 1 or 2 more steamy scenes in those books. I felt like I don't need to know that girl running from one building to another. Is she running? She running on a dick? That's what I'm know. Are you running to kingdom come?
That's what's important. Amen.
So I felt like there could have been, at least she could have threw us in one, especially in Eve. Eve, we got like one good sex scene. And I was just like, the other was just sexual tension. And if it's just too much sexual tension, I'm going to get annoyed. I'm going to be like, okay, we get it. I fuck with you, you fuck with me. I get it. We seeing each other. I'm vibing, you vibing. Okay, can I sit on your face? Can I sit on your face? All right. Can I introduce you to a cowgirl? I mean, because I'm going to ride you like a rodeo. And I just feel attacked and victimized.
I'm here with you, where I finish sometimes and I'm like, dang it, if you had just thrown in a little more, like because then when you get one that's really good and there's only one, then I'm like, oh, you robbed me. I wanted Shawla's comment. He likes a thick neck.
Thick neck, wide mouth, broad shoulder.
It kind of sounds like you're describing them boys brothers from Alexandria House.
How that I am.
I mean, just a little bit. Kind of sounds like
that
specific men.
Set can get it. Period.
Yeah,
I love them.
Taking, well, like Monty said, taking a rec for something steamy or spicy from a random person, you setting yourself up, play yourself. So it's like, maybe I should look at reviews and see if anyone else that I trust. But like,
I don't like
DNF. Sex scenes. Yeah.
This year is the year of DNF for sure.
Hey, let it go. Because some you read and you're just like, well, now I haven't read, I'm waiting for it from the library, but I haven't read anything from Tessa Bailey, but I've heard from some people that she's the queen of dirty talk, but then I heard from other people that they found her dirty talk awkward and cringy. So I'm very
interested. I'm not gonna lie, I am a fan of Katie Roberts.
Katie Robert is queen.
She's good.
I like what I read from her. I didn't read like Neon Gods, but
Neon Gods is her least steamy book in recent memory.
Yeah, I'm trying to get into Beverly
Jenkins.
Tessa's dirty talk is a what does that mean?
It will either work for you or it will not.
Because yeah, I'm waiting on.
I don't have an issue. Other people do.
For the most part, I was hearing great things, and then I heard some people were like, "It's kind of awkward." But I haven't read anything from her, so I'm gonna try one and see if I. Oh.
Hi, Gina. Like, no. Gina, Romantic Deception, is going to be on a live with me and Jess next week, which I haven't told Jess that Gina's going to be on.
Yeah, I've never done a live with Gina.
I know. She's going to make a StreamYard just for us. Very exciting.
Dirty Talk Cringy and Chloe Brown.
I will not take that slander, Vina. No. I will not take that slander.
I feel like I literally read so many romance books that it has to be so egregious to like bug me. Like it has to be like truly just my whole body's like, no. You can't do this. Otherwise I like don't even know this. I just keep reading.
Yeah.
This brings me back to like when I was on a live with Mara. Oh my God, I can't even remember the name of it, but I was on a live with Mara. I think it was on It's Beautifully Bethany's page. And then we were talking about like, there is a difference from veterans and newbies and mediocres and not mediocre, medium people. Sorry. Is definitely not the word. Medium people and genres. Because like I will call myself a veteran of all things mystery and thriller. Horror, I will say I'm in the middle. I'm getting to a veteran, but definitely mystery and thriller, that's my home base.
Right.
And historical fiction, if we're being honest. So I feel like this one over there laughing. I'll have to get to that comment. But I feel like people who are veterans look at the genre differently than people who just start, because like you're like, it has to really be some stuff in order for me to not read it. Versus me, I'll just DNF it. You probably will keep going. You know, but I would just be like, all right, I'm gonna head out. You know, it's no for me. So I feel that. I feel that way, about mystery and thrillers. People be like, I saw it coming. I'd be like, I don't give a fuck if I saw it coming. I just know if that one person who I saw in it, who I knew you were snake in the grass, if they turned out to be a snake in the grass or not. That's really all I care about. I don't give a shit.
Right.
Oh, I need to read that. I didn't know there were sex scenes in
that. There's two.
Listen, I need our girl NK Nora.
Bree, have you read 100,000 Kingdoms?
Who, me?
Have you read the 100,000 Kingdoms?
I read the first one and the second one.
That's the 100,000 Kingdoms is the first one.
Yeah.
Whole thing's the Inheritance trilogy. Listen, I just read it. I just finished it like a couple days ago.
I can't remember all three of them of the 5th season. I just remember first, second, third. I change names. They should just be very concrete. This is the first book. This is the second book. And the third one.
If you're reading a rom-com, you want no steam?
What? That's like some of the best. No steam.
I feel you.
I have never heard this in my whole life.
But I feel like if you are on the asexual spectrum, yes.
That's fair. Yes.
See, I agree. No, however, that's not what she's saying. She's saying based on the subgenre, she wants steam or no steam. But I agree. If you're ace or demi or just don't like reading sex scenes for any reason, it's totally fine. Which is why you should have people who recommend Fade to Black. Now, obviously, those tend to be readers who want that, who enjoy that. Like, and I will specifically mention if it is, but I'm not going to read Fade to Black on purpose in order to recommend it because you're better off with another channel. I know a couple. I know Sarah, I can't think of her channel name though. It's like Books and Knitting or something like that. But like she does not like sex in her romance whatsoever. And she reads all Fade to Black. So like there are people who recommend it. Yeah. And it's perfectly fine to want it, but you should be clear on what you're recommending. What?
Put their link in the chat.
I just
overestimate my skills.
My only gripe, or like, was when I was watching someone's video, I don't like when people say clean or dirty romance. I don't like when people use those words because I'm like, don't do that. It's still a romance, and maybe it's just Fade to Black, or there's zero steam, but don't call it clean versus dirty. I don't like that at all.
I agree. To go into that, if a romance mention anything about feet, I'm heading out.
Same. I
hate feet.
Do not include it.
When they be having GQ, sexy man alive. He has on a shirt and some Calvin Klein boxers, and then they got his toes in the shot. That just ruins it.
You're like, you should have cropped that, please.
You should have fucking cropped. Then I'm gonna be like, his feet stink. I'm gonna think about him going to the gym and them dirty toes, throwing up gang signs. I just sweat. Oh no, don't do it for the Lord.
Yeah, I don't like feet, and that's okay. So, question about certain kinks or whatever. Do you have certain ones that? So besides feet, other ones that you just don't enjoy? Because I realized reading a book that I don't like reading about pegging. I was just like, no, thanks. Does not, tingle my naughty bits.
Not but naughty bits.
I haven't come across really any other kinks that I've been like, I haven't had any with feet, and I haven't come across any others that were just like, I just felt bored by. I was just like, Do you have any other ones?
Yes. Okay. It's the bookish knitter is someone who does not enjoy sex in their books, by the way.
Okay. I'm trying to
finally figured it out.
You're not a hoe. Well, if you a hoe, me too.
I'm trying to remember though, like
I feel like I'm open to most kinks. I feel like it depends almost entirely on the author for me.
Is that a kink? The daddy kink?
Sure is.
Any parental figure.
See, I don't mind daddy kink, but I personally do not enjoy daddy dom little girl. I don't like that dynamic. That's where two consensual adults, but it's like age play, and that just does not work for me.
That sounds rapey, and I don't want it.
Right. Now, obviously, some people do have that kink because of their own trauma. Some people have the kink just because of their preferences, and that's totally fine. It just does not work for me.
Speaking of, you know what? Just side note, I haven't read this, but that thing I covered in my last video where it was the forced pregnancy trope. Now, I have not read that. And that
I've read that so many times.
Great. Because, okay, I don't want to kink shame because there's so many kinks, right? But I just don't understand. How is it? I don't, it just doesn't sound like something I would want to read.
That's one of those things where it's like literally never, ever, ever okay in real life. It is not okay to try and get somebody pregnant against their will. It is not okay to peer pressure in any way, in my opinion, for people to have children. I have 3 kids. I chose those kids. I was happy to have them. They were all on purpose. I am going to tell you, don't have kids if you're not 100% like, I want kids.
Yeah.
No, you should not have kids for your mother. You should not have kids because of society, for your best friend, for your partner. You should not have kids unless that is the desire of your heart. And under no conditions is it okay for somebody else to make that choice for you. It's just not.
Yeah.
In a book, you can do like murder people. I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I read
but in real life, no. It's
and I'm
not
like,
okay.
in real life, no. But in this book, this was hot that he kidnapped her. So
Right.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. A little kidnap. I don't know why I'm into it. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say.
It. Yeah,
that's all I'm gonna say on that shit. I'm not trying to be putting myself
nice. A sex scene with a god. Okay,
it was really good, and it was actually written like he was not a human. I liked how she did it. It was very interesting.
Listen, this woman's chapter 17 and 24. You're welcome.
They're good. I loved the whole book.
They've been a lot of rom-coms that haven't even been funny, but I get that because a lot of movies are very
for real. If it's a rom-com, I should be laughing.
Yes,
physically laughing out loud. It should not be just the main character keeps getting herself in embarrassing situations.
Yes,
that's not funny.
That's aggravating.
Go away.
Yes, yeah. Oh, the intimacy experiment.
I still have not read that.
I'm with you, Gina.
You and me, babe. You and me.
A closed door. Maybe they close.
I mean, that is true. Some people really think that sex is just P and V, and it's like that's not. That's,
maybe they close the door before the blowjob.
Everybody leaves it open.
Yeah. Would you consider that zero steam?
I would say it's zero steam if the only thing on page is a kiss.
Yeah. What about like heavy petting and making out? That's like one.
I never read that. Like it's either there is nothing or there's everything.
Nothing in the middle.
So, not usually. I mean, in the middle is one scene. That's in the middle for me, or 2 scenes.
Yeah, I feel lie. If I had, I don't know, but just had to.
Nobody needs that in their life.
Yes,
Can you
exactly.
describe what open door is?
Open door means the sex is described on page.
Not an Amish romance. Oh God, no, thank you.
Yeah, no.
Why y'all?
This is wrong.
No paranormal romance for you,
Monty. You are wrong. I'm sorry, my friend, but like,
you mean you didn't read what was that milking one y'all were reading?
What?
The milking one everyone was reading.
Oh God in heaven! I DNF'd that so fast, so fast. I was
milking farm.
I can't do this. So there you go. There's something that did not work for me.
Was it because they were? What were they? Minotaurs?
Yeah. No. I've read Minotaurs. It's totally fine.
Okay.
No.
Was it the writing?
My issue was, I can never pronounce this word. Somebody tell me the right way, for the love of God. Turgid, Turgid, like stiff. So there was a hole in the wood, and the turgid flesh was through the hole, and I was like, this is not gonna work for me.
You get no splinters? Oh, I don't like
the choice that you made just in that word has. I'm out, actually. I don't need to do more. I'm done.
What about, did you read I love, what was it? An alien man, an alligator man or something? Or I married a lizard man?
I married a lizard man. I read that. I felt like it was colonizer vibes, but what do I know?
Ooh, no, Lord.
So the author's not white. It's written by a Black woman, so there's that. But it was like an indigenous lizard tribe. That's made up. Okay, whatever. Like, I'm not going to get on your case about it. And honestly, I've said this too. This would have bugged me even if it was just like 2 white people in suburbia. But the main character did everything. Every problem she solved. She was the goddess that brought prosperity to the tribe. And I was just like, what is happening? Why are we doing this? All these other people are great and they're literally good for nothing. Whether I don't understand. And then she was like good at things that she'd never seen before in her life. I was like, but they literally have spent their whole life doing this. So why is she the one that's like, here we go. Here's how we're going to save the tribe. And I was like, this just, no.
not save the tribe. Do you have a, okay, so if you don't like the daddy, daughter, dom, or whatever, do you have
I don't mind daddy cake. I don't like, I like consensual non-consent. That's my favorite, but it's hard to do well. If you want a demon one, R.M. Virtues wrote Sing Me to Sleep with a sleep demon, a paralysis demon, who figures out that he does not want this particular human sphere. And also she's like, no, but he actually like physically cannot touch her unless she consents. So even though she's like, no, it's not no, because he literally wouldn't be able to do anything. And it's really, really, really good. It was really good. Highly recommend.
Lord have mercy.
He's a Black trans disabled author. He's literally awesome. I follow him everywhere. He's like best friends with Nicole.
I know.
Pick this book.
Friends with Nicole.
These comments are killing. Oh, glory hole. Oh, yeah. I don't like that.
Yeah, that's bad.
I don't have an overwhelming. Yeah. I feel like Sarah J. Maas needs to lean into erotica and just do that.
Ma'am.
She just, that's what she wants to be.
Ma'am.
She stopped playing with me and calling her and
New like, adult fantasy is not erotica.
No, I'm saying she needs to lean into it and just make her books that, not that her books are. I feel like she just needs to lean into that bag and really prosper over there. Oh God, is that a bodily fluid?
Okay, I would agree with this, except except I read Bound. It was an arc actually, Bound by Vita Weiss, which arguably, if you describe this book to me, I would be like, no, no. But I love Evita Weiss, and it's not shifters. It's more like furry paranormal creatures that are similar to shifters, but don't actually shift.
Furry.
And there was a little bit of marking involved, and I was like, well, that's not really for me, but also I'm still here, so.
What do you think? So, okay, yes. Oh my gosh, that was the worst narrator ever. I listened to the audiobook and I was like, this was such a terrible choice to have him read this.
I love Gina. I love her so much.
I never got down with the daddy thing, and like me personally, taken as a hostage becomes.
Okay. Did you know, I read this. I need to look this up. Did you know that Stockholm Syndrome is made up?
I heard of that.
Like a mediocre white man was like, you know what would explain this?
Why do I always gotta be mediocre?
Well, funny, I'm reading that book right now.
Average.
Just a history of white men.
I really wish that I owned a physical copy. I hate it when I audiobook something because I mainly hybrid read, but I hate it when I audiobook something and it's so fucking good and I can't take notes.
I know.
I hate it, and that's one of the books I just really want.
When did you read it?
Okay.
Oh, months ago.
Oh, okay.
I still remember vivid scenes where I was like, yep.
Humanoid vampires fine. But aliens, spiders, fae, human, the anatomy isn't. But it gets fun with the anatomy, though. I read the, what was that one everybody was reading? It was the monster one by Catherine Moon.
Oh.
I can't think of that one.
Grave Manor.
Yes. And that one had some different creatures and, some things with an extra, like a tail and I was like, I'm here for it. It's working.
That was the worst smut I've read all year. I just want you to know. I was like this. is so sterile and technical and literally cold as the marble man. Like this, I feel nothing. I DNF'd that book twice.
It took me longer. It was too long. It took me longer to read than it should have.
Her other books I really like. That one was literal garbage. And it has gone so viral. It has put her on the map. And I'm like, I'm happy for you, but this is your worst book by far. I don't understand what's happening.
I should read the other ones.
What is like? Say?
Wow.
Katie, oh no.
Wow.
No. Oh no. What's like, I feel like I don't know. I need to lean into some more kinkier, darker romances, but I just keep putting it off because I want to do like a reading vlog. I want to get like Tamika, and Izzy to recommend me.
First of all, don't trust Tamika. Tamika's taste is trash. Tamika, I hope you're watching right now because you said you would and you never comment, so you could be here. Trash. Trash.
Why you do Tamika like
I sometimes co-host the Taboo Book Club with her. So many of my worst books of the year of 2021 were picked for the Taboo Book Club. I can't. No. I love her with my whole heart, but her taste is trash. Wilty Adams is fire. If you have not read Go Deep, is by far the best friends to lovers I have ever read, and I don't like that trope.
Hey,
and it's a novella.
I need to read that.
Y'all, I'm really moving through a terrible cramp, but I forgot what I was gonna say.
Oh, yeah,
I agree. Sarah J. Maas is popular because she's very accessible, right?
They're not
so
good
I feel like if you're already super into the genres, maybe you won't love her as much. You definitely can. But a lot like you were saying earlier, Brie, if you are super into a genre, you've read it all before. If you're not super into a genre, it's all brand new. And it's like, wow, this is amazing. I didn't even know this existed. This works so well for me.
Yeah.
When it's literally just like the basics of the genre. But you don't know that. And so your experience is, this is amazing.
Yeah.
I just want to know, like, I'm not moving on to the dark romance like Jess. She's leaning. I'm
trying to lean. I want to lean in because I read one, I remember a long time ago before I even really read romance. And I've wanted to have this. I had this idea for this reading vlog. I'm going to ask Tamika. You ain't going to do her like that.
Tamika's taste is garbage. If you do not DNF or 1 or 2 star her books, garbage.
Yeah. But I just like, so if I'm going to freestyle a rating system right now. If I'm gonna go from 0 to 5 flames, I don't know.
Do flames.
Flames. Okay, 0 would literally be, nothing. Hand holding, maybe. A kiss on the cheek.
Not a kiss on the cheek.
Maybe a kiss on the lips, but that's not steamy. And then 1 flame would be fade to... maybe there's a little bit more petting or eggplants. Oh, Shauna, I like eggplants. Go back. 0 eggplants. Wow. Then 1 eggplant, maybe a little heavy petting, and they're gonna go do it, but fade to black, closed door. Okay, 2 eggplants.
There's so much genre. I need somebody to do a video of being like, this is the genres. And then there's so many tropes.
Oh, the subgenres of romance?
I just want y'all to know, you guys are readers. You've probably been reading your whole life. I haven't. And
you're a reader.
Every damn week I'm finding another trope. And I'm like, God damn it. Can the book just be the book?
I feel like that's every genre has so many subgenres and tropes, and I can't keep up with them all.
Charles from Books on Stereo did a subgenres video, although he didn't describe it a lot because all of his videos, if you don't know, are like 3 minutes long. It's very concise.
Okay, wait. Did I say 2 eggplants? more heavy petting. Maybe there's like, I don't know. I'm trying to think. No, I'm feeling like one eggplant is really just fade to black, and then we get heavy petting, and 2 eggplants also fade to black.
5 or 6. Lord have mercy. I can't with you people.
I don't know. What level do you cross in to erotica? Is like erotica just
erotica is
number of
the
sex
entire
scenes?
No, erotica is the story outside of sex does not exist. Also, erotica, these are subgenres. These are all from Bria and 11 Words. This is her trope stickers. And mind you that it's not all the tropes that I can think of. Shit. These are the trope. Like 5 or 6 is, that's not a thing. That's not a thing. You're watching the wrong people. I don't know what to tell you.
Yes, anyone who reads at least one book is a reader.
Amen.
I feel like 3 eggplants is probably standard, middle of the road, a lot of romances. You know, where there's like a good sex scene, maybe.
You're talking like traditional romances?
Yeah, like traditionally published, or probably if they have sex on page, they're probably between the 2 to 3 eggplants. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you don't get 4 or 5 eggplants until you get to indie. Traditional just don't be hitting like that.
That's true.
I
would also say that.
I mean, you're right. Indie romance, I feel like I really prefer.
They can do all the things.
They can do
No. Monty. No. The first page is subgenres. The rest are tropes. There's so many tropes. There's so many tropes. Even if you just go with like the fake relationship, you have fake dating, marriage of convenience, arranged marriage, fake marriage. Like you have a bunch of different things and like the same type of thing. So I can think of like 5 or 6 for basically any category you give me. No.
You will be here all day.
No.
Yes.
Honestly, I really like Monty, and I also feel like I disagree with him 95% of the time.
Oh, yes.
So it's fine.
Every time I watch Monty's videos, I'm like, well, actually, sometimes I'm like, ooh, you about to drag this book I did not like. Yes.
Tracy's right.
Eat it up. Yes. 3 eggplants. Because even I feel like Talia Hibbert, even if that's not the most, is on the higher end for traditional. 5 is straight erotica, yeah. So 4 is probably if 4 still stays in romance, that would be like the best situation, but it's rarely a 4 in traditional.
Tessa Bailey would be a 4 in traditional, I'd say. She has a good amount of sex.
It's just
but also, if you don't like gender specific language, then she is not the author for you, because she leans pretty heavily into the male sigh, the male flesh, the male spirit. I don't know. But like if you don't like that, she's not going to be for you.
I don't know if I've noticed that before, besides with SJM and her males. Yeah. All the words that they have to use.
Well, no, hers are human. She's just describing gender.
Yeah. I'm definitely not into Sarah J. Maas.
Velvet covered steel and the apex of her thighs. I'm like, oh, ma'am, please.
See, literally none of that bothers me, like at all.
I just
dicks be soft. They're like very silky. I don't know what to tell you. It makes sense. And you can't describe them as soft because they're also hard. So silky steel.
Yeah.
I don't like velvet though. I can't lie. I don't like that.
Velvet just seems like there was still velvet is soft, yes, but it seems like that's going to cause some friction that we're not going to want. If that was,
oh Lord,
yes, SGM sheathing. Oh yeah, please.
Is she? That's the word she used.
Oh my gosh! In A Court of Silver Flames, she said that like Nesta impaled herself on his, and I was like, did it go through the impaled?
Again, like it has to be so much worse than that to bother me. It's not even funny.
I just cannot. But I don't know. Too bad everyone has different opinions, so we can't have like a universal ranking so that it's too bad there can't be no jalapeno peppers on the book where you can be like, ooh, I know that I'm getting two eggplants in this book.
Right.
But
right. Although I feel like obviously we have issues with people, they just don't see these things the same way. Everything's subjective. However, I do feel like spice, like you could have, I don't know, like you said with your made up rating system that you just did. Maybe the one sex scene works for you a bajillion times better than it did for somebody else, but you can still be like, yeah, there was one sex scene. There was one. Like that's a fact. I don't understand why we can't.
Reviews. Tell me, is it more than one?
Yeah, I need
more than one what?
Relationship, or is it just like they met each other and they said they're gonna head out?
I don't know what you said. I didn't hear well enough. That's my bad. Eat your noodles. But I don't know what you said.
No, I said that's what I'd be wanting, like when people review to say if there's one sex scene or not.
Oh,
I'd be wanting to know. Because then I get because I really liked the Eve one and Talia Hibbert. But I just was like, damn, you could have given us more sex. And there were so many opportunities for sex scenes to be included. They're in the hallway talking to each other, and then they go, good night. I'm like, they could have banged on that wall.
Good night.
I still haven't read that book. It's on my 2022 TBR.
I just want explanations, and I know a lot of people I haven't read Christina Lauren's older books, but a lot of people don't like the newer ones because they are basically like Fade to Black.
They are Fade to Black.
Yeah. Which I don't mind, but if someone were to tell me that book was spicy and then I went into it, I'd be like, this is 0 eggplants, right? Or maybe 1 eggplant. That's what I'm going to start. Now I'm going to keep that in mind. Anytime I review a romance book, I'm going to be like, I'm going to make my eggplant scale. I need
everything
to
that, like, give me the right expectations. This drives me up the wall. It's like you picked up a novella and you're like, this is too short. I wanted more. And I'm like, but you knew it was a novella. And lots of people like short books. That's why they exist. Mm-hmm. And it's not trying to be a 1,000-page book or a 300-page book. It's a novella. You knew that before you picked it up.
I know. When I hear of a romance book that's over like 350 pages, I'm like, what are we doing here? Absolutely not.
Yeah, I think that every book don't need to be a tome, or we don't need to get every blade of grass described. I think
Amen. Diana Gabaldon.
Like you said earlier, you probably want to find people to follow whose taste.
This is how I felt reading Battle Royal or whatever, that romance. I was like, what are y'all going to even, Gray's Hands something? This is taking too long. I was out.
Not too long.
I don't really read books like that, but I feel your pain.
I've recently been like, I DNF'd one of my anticipated romances for the year. I'm so sad. I'm like, maybe I just need to go back to indie.
Already?
Traditional one. I read it like the other week or something. It came out the first of the year, and I was so excited, but I just was like, I just need to go back to indie romances because these covers are cute, but the insides ain't work.
I read literally hundreds of books a year because most of them are short romances, right? Mm-hmm. And I probably read 10 maybe traditionally published books, and probably most of those are not romances, because I feel like traditionally published romances do lean very heavily into the formula. You're going to have 40 to 50% of angst. Then you're going to have a little bit of getting together. At the 70% mark, you're going to have a conflict. You're going to break up for an undetermined amount of time, possibly a week, possibly a year. Don't get me that literally. So no. And then you're going to have one happy chapter at the end where you're back together forever, and probably you're going to get engaged and pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. You know exactly at what point what's going to happen. And it's also very, it can't go right to your target audience. This is why I like indie romances so much. It's not just the pacing. It's not just the breaking of the formula. It's not just how much more explicit you can get. It's you can go straight to your target audience. If you are writing for people who like this kink, you can write that kink. If you are writing for people who don't want to read about white people in their book, you can write a book that literally the white people aren't even there. First time I read Alexandria House and Christina C. Jones, I was like, oh, there's no white people. That's weird. I've literally never read this before in my entire life. I was like, wow, okay. Like, and also, again, the trope, you can lean so heavily into it, whatever it is. You don't have to make it palatable for everybody. You can make it for the people like you, for the people who want what you are writing. And there are people who want what you have in your head. People like me. I don't have it in my head. I don't have stories living here. The only stories here were written by somebody else and I consumed them. So like, I love that, but also I literally can't think of it on my own. So if you can give it to me, I'm going to hype you as much as possible.
Yes. I definitely got to get back to the indie side because I've just been disappointed. And even not even with like Steam, just with the relationship between the characters. I'm like, oh, wait, did that say if 400 plus pages does something other than the equivalent of 5? Oh no. Will they won't? I ain't got time.
Same.
And I hate that like break up at like I think 90%. I'm just like, come on, they're never going to be together. This is ridiculous. I want to read them together.
If they break up, they need to break up for a valid reason.
Mm-hmm.
It cannot be they had a fight and they broke up. Why aren't they breaking up their next fight? Because they're mature adults. If they were mature adults, why did they break up the first time?
Heather, they're going to break up
nothing
over their fight. Then they're going to come back and get married. And now all of a sudden they're prepared for marriage.
A week later. It's insanity. And or they're never going to leave because of the baby. That's not how it works. Babies are hard on relationships. They are not helpful. There are plenty of single parents.
I feel like you two are literally the stars here because y'all are saying the truth, and I'm just.
I love your fan.
Literally, a picture frame.
They have been pushing that third act breakup even further, and I'm just like, when I look at a romance, and I'm like, when you're getting close to 400 pages, no.
Okay, for indie romance releases.
Ooh.
It's difficult. Honestly, I get mine from 20 bajillion sources. My anticipated releases videos are just books that I am actively interested in reading. They are not all the indie romances that I know about being released. At the same time, I message authors, all of my favorite authors. I'm like, hey, and I feel so bad about it, and I shouldn't, but I do. I'm like, hey, do you have a release this month? Because if you do, I want to include you in my video. And sometimes I feel like I'm like hounding them, like, have you written a book yet? Is it out? But like, I'm not. I'm like literally trying to give you free advertising. That's what I'm trying to do.
They write so much, and since they're usually shorter, they publish like usually multiple a year.
Yes, many indie romance authors publish once a month. If they don't, it's usually once every 2 months, at least once a quarter. I would say almost every indie romance author has multiple books.
Christina posts one.
Christina C. Jones. I love her. I love her so much. Her next book is No Longer Afraid, MC Predator. It's coming out soon, I hope. She hasn't said anything else about it, but she's told me it was going to be February. So not February, January. She said January. I've been waiting for it since March of last year, but it's fine. It's an all-black motorcycle club in Vegas, and maybe one more time, I think, is the third book in her Vegas Nights series. It's Blue. He's the president of the MC Club, and he is the kinkiest Christina C. Jones hero I have ever read. He does
Which book is this?
I know. Share those deeds.
Because I need to continue on my Christina C. Jones journey, and I don't know. She has so much.
This
I don't know which one to
is my favorite novella series of hers. If you want rom-com, go for The Love Sisters. If you want a little bit darker.
So I read The Love Sisters, but for me, yes, for me.
This is the third book. Maybe One More Time. That's the president of the MC. Maybe Next Time is the first one. It's my personal favorite. I gave all 3 books 5 stars. I absolutely love them. But the first one is a marriage in trouble, and he kidnaps her. And it's like, yeah, we're not getting divorced. We're gonna be in love.
Wait a minute, but I don't have my phone. Wait a minute.
I can text it to you. But also, the first one though does have a content warning for miscarriage, because that's what made them fall apart in the first place, was kind of the fallout of the grief of that. They didn't handle it well. So if that's a trigger, that is what their issue was. And it is in the past, but at the same time, like, grief isn't in the past,
honestly.
But literally the best.
Yes. Oh my God, they do. I'm like, although I will say, while rom-com books haven't been hitting, I wish they would just make them movies, because Hollywood, I need the return of a good 90-minute rom-com movie. Everything does not need to be 2.5 hours, Hollywood. Give me a 90-minute rom-com, and that's it. Yes, 50%. I at least want to see them together. I hate when I love angst and then I wanted your purple mug. I love angst and the will they, won't they, but only to a certain point. Then I want them to be together.
For me, it's not so much like when the sex scene happens or anything like that. It's, are they having conversations? Are they acting like 2 people who are trying to get to know each other? Even if one of them is like, I hate you. Are they having lots of interactions with each other? If you're giving me banter, I don't care when you have sex. I don't care. Give me all of the conversations, all the dialogue. Again, that's why I love Christina C. Jones literally so much, because her dialogue is
I just did 6 months of Kindle Unlimited. Perfect. So
good job
in there. But yeah, her dialogue is some of it feels because a lot of romances, and I mean in non-romance books sometimes too, it feels, I'm like, these aren't real people having a conversation. Like, this just doesn't feel
right.
Like people would really say these things.
And like I've said, it's hard, right? I don't know if you've ever for school or anything tried to write anything, but it's like, let's go outside. He said, I'm going to have dinner later. It's hard. It's a skill.
Research paper, not a story. Definitely not for, I can, always want to put that out there. I am not a writer, especially with dialogue. Definitely is a talent. But yeah, not for me. I haven't read Mariana Zapata.
I love Kristen Ashley, and her books are so long. They are so long. 500 pages.
Excuse for and it's a romance?
Yes. And I love her books so much. Now, her writing is not for everybody. You're either going to love her or hate her. If you hate her, DNF. It doesn't change. It stays the same. Okay. But for me, I've read 20 something books of hers, and they're so long, and I love them so much. So just know that. But yeah, for the most part, I don't read long books anymore. I used to read. You have to understand too, I am the type of person that I can read 1,000 pages in a day. This is a doable thing for me. Now, that's if I literally do almost nothing else all day. I mean, I'll feed my children, but besides that, you're on your own, kids. I don't know. No. Yeah. But so I can do it in a day, but also it's not going to be an all day, every day type thing. But
but that's what generally I like about romance being short. Yeah. So much
indies. It depends on what you already read though. What Amazon is upcoming releases that might yeah. So for me, I get a lot there, and I get a lot on Twitter and stuff, but like I said,
Twitter I know people don't love Twitter, but Twitter is a great, because even if you don't follow every author, if you follow some of them, then they're sharing and retweeting their friends or people who write similar things to them, and you can find, because Christina C. Jones will share something by and I see Rebecca Weatherspoon, and then I'll find Katrina Jackson.
And the other thing I was going to say about indie romance authors, God love them, but they do not share their stuff ahead of time. at all.
It's out now.
It's like live out in 2 days. Like if you have somebody who's like, this is coming next month, that is so much prep time in the indie world. So much. Like I can't begin to tell you how much they are promoting that book, because that does not happen. It's literally like, this is out now.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, cool. Well, if I had known this, I would have put it in my video because I love your work. But here we are.
Especially like who have like an audience, and they've been writing for a while, because those, if you're like on their Patreon or a newsletter, but I feel like maybe more newer authors would promote a little further in advance. A really good have I had a good married? Because the only one I really read where they were already married was the boyfriend, married man, bromance book club, and I thought that was ass.
My favorite married couple romances are
poly romance. What?
Wait, who?
Katrina
where? Polly. That's I need more.
Yes, she has poly romance
in my life.
I need more poly romance. Amen.
Yes, she does. She has like a whole series.
I haven't read anything.
And also her mafia books. It's not like the end game relationship. I feel like that her second one has it.
Look at that on the Twitter. Yes, or I know earlier Steph, her like when she was trying to get into romance, she read Beach Read, which I think Emily Henry has great writing, but Beach Read felt more aligned with like women's fiction than like romance.
Yeah, I'm never reading that book. More power to the fans.
But again, it's something different for especially traditionally published and pushed, like, by book of the month and stuff. I think you definitely have to be a certain level.
Yeah, I agree.
You're like, come on, let us help you out. I love family drama, family stories are the best.
Hands down. For the families.
I can do without it. I can do it.
I mean, it depends, because Romance Book Club, her sister, I wanted to slap that hoe. So when it's done well, yes, slap her. But like the Wright brothers,
for married couples, I really like Maybe One More Time. Nope. Maybe Next Time. Maybe Next Time by Christina C. Jones. Her titles, that series, I don't know what it is, but I try and mix them up constantly. And the other one that I really liked is Love Her or Lose Her by Tessa Bailey. I really felt like that one was two people who loved each other and didn't understand the way that they were showing love and weren't getting what they needed from the other person, but they did love each other, and getting help, getting therapy. Not the most traditional therapy, but I really liked it.
Which one did you say that was?
KUX or just more Ruby Dixon. Love Her or Lose Her by Tessa Bailey.
Oh, okay.
It's the sequel. It's the next book after Fix Her Up, which if you read Fix Her Up, it does give you some of the backstory for this couple in this book too, but I hated Fix Her Up. So
have you read Window Shopping?
No, I have not yet.
Monty, you're not talking about Katrina's covers. What they look like? Let me go look.
Wait, what happened?
I could be in a Yes, Twitter. I mean, I know people don't like Twitter, but it's a great place to find books.
I'm completely caught up on Katrina Jackson's Mafia series, so I have to start her poly one next.
Yeah.
How many books is the Mafia series?
It is a prequel, which does not end in a happily ever after, but it sets in motion everything. And then there's 2 books, and then there's another novella that is just sex and Italian food. So
wow,
the Mafia series is so good. It's so good. So you have these American Black women. They're all related to each other, sisters or cousins. The first one goes to Italy with her boyfriend and then takes a day trip without him and falls for like the head of the mafia. He's like an older guy. It's the age gap. But if you're not into accidental pregnancies, that one has an accidental pregnancy.
Which is this the family, Beautiful and Dirty?
Yes, that one. Oh then God. The next book is her cousin or sister, one or the other, going to Italy, because she was engaged to a celebrity and he was caught cheating with a famous stripper and her best friend and maid of honor by the paparazzi the night before the wedding. So she's like, I'm going on the honeymoon without you. So she goes and she's crying every night. And the hitman for the mafia is in the room next to her because he's supposed to be laying low. And he hates this person who's crying all night long next to him, but every time he sees her at the pool, he's like really into her, not realizing that they're the same person. And then they end up going on the run together when somebody comes to try and kill him, and that's fire, like so good. Then the next book is the other sister or cousin, I can never remember what order it goes in, taking the first one to go find the middle sister cousin person. Two of them are sisters and one of them is a cousin, and I can't remember who's who. But so they go to Italy, to this town, because they literally haven't heard from her since she ran away from her wedding. And the council of aunties is like, you need to go and you need to get her and bring her back. So they go and they like follow her credit card history. So they go to the restaurant where the first sister had met the mafia guy in the first place. And she's like, all the blood has rained out of her face because she's like returning. And the other sister's like, I don't know what's going on here. And so then people are trying to take down the mafia. So all three of them now have to go with their separate guys. The two are already hooked up. The third one's not there by accident. She came to find. But she was in a polyamorous relationship. She breaks up right before going to Italy. She does not want kids. He does not want kids ever, which I feel like it's always a wreck that people are looking for. Mm-hmm. I do have a video. Of course I do. That's non-traditional HEAs, where it's not married and white picket fence and 2.5 kids with the golden retriever. I've got that. But this one is like they don't want kids. And also it ends on a happy for now. So it's not like they're together for 5 years. It's like, no, I'm not leaving Italy right now. And then the next one is the sex and food. It's really good. That's really good. I'm very sad that I'm caught up. I really wish I wasn't. I have nothing to look forward to in life.
Was this on KU?
Yeah. Yeah, Katrina Jackson, the Family series is on KU. And it is good. It is so good.
Yes, Synethia. Oh, yeah. Synethia Williams. I want to read some of hers, too.
I'm trying to.
Oh, Polly Reverse Harem.
Yeah. The Sacrifice by Katie Robert. Is a vampire polyamorous.
Surprise! Happy Tuesday. I got a book.
If you like an author and they're an indie author, follow them on social media. That's how you.
Yeah. Don't do Katrina Jackson like that. Look, I don't love a lot of indie romance covers, but the inside is usually great. And then the opposite a lot of times happens for traditional public romance, where the cover is cute and inside I'm bored.
Do not judge indie romances by the cover. I am begging you.
I still need to read Treble, whatever, by Rizzy Adams, because I pre-ordered that. Don't judge me. And then I want to finish. Wait, hold on. And then I got Sacrifice. The Sacrifice.
I think that one's a little bit darker.
Yeah, from you. I got that from you. Or Nicole. And then 2 nights ago, I started reading this book I found called The Reinvention of the Rose by Christina C. Jones.
I have that book. I haven't read it, though, because I heard you were supposed to read another series first, and I still...
Oh, what's the other series? I'll stop.
I don't remember, woman. I think it was maybe like 2, like the Wright brothers and her. The one that is Auntie Up. I think it's that whole series too. And I've only read Auntie Up in that one. And I've only read the first 2 in the Wright brothers. So.
Oh, I love the Wright brothers.
Fixed Her Up is by far my least favorite Tessa Bailey book I've ever picked up. So I would recommend trying something else if that was the only thing you didn't like.
Shanora Williams.
Ooh. There's a book I just found called Murder on Prescott Mountain.
That sounds good.
I don't know.
I don't love accidental or the pregnancy.
I
like the illustrated covers. A lot of them are, except now it's Izzy ruined it for me. If they don't have like facial features, then it's weird.
I like very detailed illustrated covers. I do not like the black person with no face.
Yeah, I like Sweet Hand, top tier illustrated cover. But
and that artist is really good. It's not even her day job, okay? This is secondary. She's already a professor. Give the woman a break.
What's who's your besides Katie Robert? Who is the author you read the most of that's like very kinky?
Okay, if you want a lot of kinks, Dana Isley in Games We Play, it's like Corpse Husband fanfic. It's like Corpse Husband fanfic. I have listened to Corpse Husband maybe never. I listened to his songs the entire time I was reading this novella because it's about a deep voice gamer whose identity is hidden, who wears a mask, and then there are there's a different kink every 2 pages. The one that is going to turn people off the most is pet play, but it wasn't a lot. It was more like crawl across the floor to me, which, okay, sign me up. Here I am. But if you don't like one of the kinks, it changes in a page. Don't worry about it. You're moving right along. Very kinky. But there is a big content warning for a description of an attempted suicide at the 80% mark. That I personally didn't really think needed to be there, but it was. So you can either skim it or just know it's there. The rest of it, light-hearted kink. That part, not so much. Also, Avita Vice. If you want queer paranormal perfection,
I like Avita
Vice. I love them. I love them so much. Their books, Headless was okay. Everything else is living in my head rent free all of the time. All of the time. You've got a death hawk moth fairy, hawk death moth. I can never remember. Fairy. We've got a succubus. Her other book is a banshee and a gargoyle. Her other book is a nightmare, a night terror, and a non-binary human. And then the one that isn't out yet is a harpy, and 2 different types of shifters, but it's actually going to be a foursome with 2 males and 2 females, which I've never read before. It's always either 9 males to 2 females, or it's all guys and 1 girl, or it's just 3 where 2 are females. So I'm ready. Although that one's very kinky. That's the one with the liquids amongst, and there's also there's a lot.
What's that kink?
What?
Can y'all hear me?
No, I heard you. Pet.
What's that kink? Is that pretending to be
a dog? Put a leash on them? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't say pretending to be a dog. I would say more the games we play, for instance, is crawl to me like the dog you are, not actually bark at me or eat out of a dog bowl or anything, which that definitely exists, and that does not work for me. Just gonna put that out there. That's not.
I thought you said it was your favorite in one of those videos.
No, I loved it. I'm saying that the kink is my favorite. No, the book is my favorite, but it doesn't go very far into the pet kink. And like I said, it's 1 page and then we're on to the next kink. So
it wasn't giving opulence.
I hate the billionaire trope because they're really trash. They're really garbage.
They are, but at the same time, spend your money on me. I hate when the main character is you're rich, so no, you're not going to buy this hamburger for me or this taxi ride. I refuse. I am not here for your money. And I'm
listen.
Okay, listen. If they made $7 an hour, you would take it from them because that would be equal. But because the money literally does not matter in their life because they have more than they could spend in 20 lifetimes, you're no, you will not pay for my food.
This is my thing. Netflix subscription is $14, $15, right? The lowest one.
Yeah.
I feel like is an attack, and because it was $7 at one point. So Netflix, y'all need to chill out.
Story.
So anyway, it is expensive, $15 a month. And we're gonna go and get a gourmet burger for $15? No, buy that. Get that's you. That's on you. Because I ain't got the monies. What if I just want
spend your money on me?
Spend it.
Yeah.
Spend
If I read a Billionaire one, it needs to be opulence and diamonds and food, just like luxury. I haven't read any.
Take me on a trip. Flew me out. Is that what the kids saying?
If you want where they go on a lot of trips together, Alexandria House has a series. I think it's the Love After series. It's all black love, obviously. That's what Alexandria House writes. But the first one is a travel blogger who falls in love with the owner of like a luxury jets thing, and she gets they're like one of her sponsors, and they like fly her around the world, and they like go to music festivals together. It's pretty good.
Like you're trying to make my to read list longer, and I just feel attacked.
Yes. Alexander Warren also has I think it's Love Unexpected, is a very good black love billionaire romance where she's trying to con him and he knows that she's like trying to con him. She doesn't need the money at all though. It's literally something she used to do, and now she's just like doing it because she's bored, to him specifically. And he's like, okay, take all the money out of my wallet. Like, I don't care. I'm happy you're here. And then it turns out like her sister works for him, and it's all very exciting. But I liked it because their power dynamic, she literally did not need anything from him. She didn't need his money. She didn't work for him. None of the things. So it was like, it's cool that you're really rich, but I'm actually here for the kinky sex. So sign me up.
Listen, I want more face sitting.
Listen, some of us get that in our books. I don't know what to tell you.
I just don't be getting that. I'd be like,
so you said you want fade to black, but you want you can't have a fade
I can have both.
You just want to know that it happened and then close the door.
Yeah. I want them to be like, and then she went towards him because she know his face was the destination. Love it. Yes. Then my mind can go to whatever I need it to go. And I'm like, yes, destination to lip on the street of Up Lip and Bottom Street Avenue. Whatever. Bottom Lip Avenue. Y'all know what I'm saying. I just feel like I just need more face sitting. I'm tired of this. I took him in my mouth. Like, okay, I think it's just me. I'm not a fan of the blowjobby job. You know what I mean? So like, let me just sit on the face. You do some things and get yourself where you need to be. But I just I like it.
Like, I feel like that's in every book I read is the girl getting oral. Yes, like all of them.
Wow, I need to read what you reading, because I ain't getting
also,
that.
I feel like there's a lot of romances that are not billionaire age gap. I feel like that's very specific tropes, and you just need to read different authors.
Yeah, I had to stop one series of
because they're not like other girls. They actually eat a fatty, carby burger in front of their love interest. So, I mean, pick me. That's why.
I need y'all to recommend me some books with some prime face sitting, and let's let the man be thick. You know, I love a thick neck, wide mouth, broad shoulder.
Okay, he is not thick, but
sitting
Feed by Vita Weiss. It's short, and you
said fade.
Feed. Because she's a succubus that has to feed on sexual energy in order to live.
It's a succubus soul. I love succubi.
And he's a non-binary moth fairy.
Yes.
And it's good. And also she hates him, and he's like, you might hate me, but you are going to do whatever I say so that you can come, and you're going to love it. It is the best hate to love sex. I just reread it like yesterday or Friday.
I got it.
Yesterday was Friday. Thursday, one of those days.
I got it right now.
Amen. So good. Amen. I cannot recommend enough.
I got it right now.
And also Avita Vice. I like Avita Vice because they write super kinky books and they're paranormal, but the consent is always top tier. Like always. It's good. Mm-hmm, it's very, very good. Indie romance is literally all about what the girl wants. Like if that hero's not like 3-1 or 5-1, 5 for you, 1 for me, nothing to see here.
Not with the succubus. That cover is up. I got it. Maybe I'll read that tonight.
That's good. It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like I feel like I'm finding out that you all are not reading the right romances because you're like, I have never read anything like this. I'm like, that's everything.
I just read the first 2 paragraphs of Feed and I'm here for it.
Heather is
Tracy reads so many of my recommendations and it makes me so happy. Like Tracy is one of my top tier favorites of all my viewers because she's always like, I read this and I'm like, yes, I love you so much. Wasn't that good?
I know. And Bree said, I love succubi.
Pretty. I like demon romances.
Succubi or is it succubuses?
Succubi.
Succubi is the plural and succubus is the singular.
Okay, I knew I wasn't saying it wrong.
And then there's like another one which for some reason is really evading my mind, but it's another sex demon. I can't think of the name.
See, Monty gets me. You can get the face sitting as it faces the butt. Exactly. Destination lips. You know.
I don't know this author, so I'm gonna look it up.
Shauna,
listen.
Get out.
Suck a pussy, yes! We love it. Amen.
She just recommended Face Down Fridays to me when I was asking for spicy recs for steamy smutty books, and I was like, that title, that's going on my TBR. I don't know what
let me tell
sounds like.
I feel like some phallic shapes, girth, and length cannot be doing doggy style. Because if I feel you in my future, that's not where I need to be.
When they're like, I could feel them like touching my cervix. I'm like, that doesn't feel good. I don't know.
I
like,
feel you near my chin, on my chinny chin, sir, remove yourself. Back on out of this truck.
Get out.
Get on out of this truck. Because I'm not trying to have to go to the doctor to rearrange things you done fucked up. That's not a trope I like. You know, people be like, give me 12 inches of what? Death and despair?
Sounds terrible.
It's a true story. It can be a little like that sounds bad actually. I don't.
I mean, and then if I wanted to be fisted, I would sign up for that.
Oh, you know what?
I just read Fisting for like the first time, and it was a Katrina Jackson book, and I was like, I don't know that I'm into this.
I don't know. That's not on my list.
I don't think I'm into it because one, just to remind y'all, because Heather was like, "What? I didn't even know." I am 6'1" tall. 6'1".
I remember ever since I got on you about that never-ending fire alarm. And you're like, look, I'm 6'1" and I got a ladder and I still can't reach it. I was like, okay.
I couldn't reach it. It was a struggle. I hated that damn alarm. But
let me add that to the pegging, fisting. No.
Look at this hand. You see this hand? This is a big ass hand. I got a ball. What?
Yeah. I know. I'm just like,
absolutely not.
I'm rearranging things, baby. This is a rearrangiana. Rearrangiana.
No, thank you.
No, ma'am.
No.
Absolutely
no.
not.
But also, if you want to get fisted, live your best. Ow.
Exactly.
For it.
Have at it.
Get it.
Not for I.
Get it. You better get fisted, Fistiana. Get it.
Oh my gosh.
Less rearranging I mean, they could have a small hand. It just doesn't sound pleasant in any iteration.
He did not, just FYI. He was a very thick, large, I will beat you to a pulp because that's my job. He's literally the enforcer for the mafia. He was not a small man.
Wide mouth, broad shoulder individual.
Bree would have liked him.
I do. I listen. Either I love fat men. I do. I like to know.
He had a belly. I was like, this is so nice to read because,
I know. I like
that. No offense to any body types, but I am not into very small men. I'm not into thin men, or I don't find it attractive. So if they are like at least solid, I like that so much better than the very thin body type.
Sorry. For me,
oh God.
I know I almost died. For me, I'm 6'1", you know, and I'm like, I don't care about anyone knowing my weight, but I'm like 240, 245. Mm-hmm. So I just be needing somebody who is thick. You know, I move, you move, just like that.
Yeah.
You know, you move, I move, just like that. And I just feel like the thick ones be doing the Lord's work, amen. And the skinny guys, I be feeling like, I'm going to break you, sir. I'm going to break you.
You seem fragile.
You seen this dumpster hanging up behind this body? That's a fatty on my daddy, llama on my
mama. Oh my God, Mandy, yes. That is disgusting.
As someone who has given birth multiple times, your body literally changes everything about itself so that you can give birth. It doesn't do that for sex. Yeah. Like it's not a thing that happens. You don't dilate because you're having sex. Literally, your body goes through a year's worth of change so that the birth can happen.
No, man.
It's not the same thing. It doesn't stretch like that on a normal daily basis.
That's how they be writing it in them books, like, oh yeah,
all the time. And I'm just like, this isn't how it works. That's not how any of this works.
No. Not the 12-inch soda can, amen. When you show up with a bat,
get out
in place of your penis,
turn around.
You want to go to home base and do a home run up in these bodies, amen. Mm-hmm. No, listen, strike, and another strike, because I hate it. People, these big old things. Yeah. I be like, dude, is there phallic reductions?
I don't know.
Good question.
I don't know. So the interesting thing I feel like with steamy books is literally that it's all personal preference. What they're writing about, how they're writing about it, the dirty words that they use or don't use, the techniques, the length of the sex scene, like literally all of it. And plus the dynamic of the couple. What works for one person is a complete no-go for another reader. Like, I like reading about men who probably should be in prison. That's my favorite. I like those. And in the meantime, like, I'm married to the nicest, most mellow man. He's just like, he's a cinnamon roll. Like, he'll let me do literally anything I want. That's not what I read about. But also, I do not want to live with them. I like getting my way literally all the time. I don't know what to tell you. I don't like being told no. I don't like being told to wait. I like getting exactly what I want when I want it. So the whole alpha thing, fictionally, works for me. Real life, not so much. Because unless you agree with me 100% of the time, which is not humanly realistic, we're not going to be happy. Because I'm going to be like, I don't want to give you your way. Like, I know.
We're like, no, my way or the highway. I feel like you said, everyone's subjective, but at least if people are like reviewing or recommending romance, you could at least like, I don't know, say how many scenes, or if you thought it was spicy and be like, I thought this was a steamy book. There was one really steamy sex scene. At least somebody has an idea of like, okay, there's one. There's not a bunch. I don't know. Just blatantly being like, this is the steamiest book I've ever. I'm like, is it? When you say that, I just automatically think y'all are lying.
Right. And or you've literally never read romance before.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like, this book had a sex scene. I've never seen this.
Like, oh my gosh, I'm blown away.
All right. Not blown away, but
yeah.
True.
Seeing Tool used it to place. Yeah. It just, everything is not going to be for everyone. Sadly, we can't have a universal system.
Not. But also, one, find people who have the same issues as you. Two, find the authors that you like. I do not understand, truly. This is just a me thing. I don't give authors a second chance, basically. I'm like, either I like your writing, or I don't. And honestly, my TBR, you guys know I delete off my TBR all the time. Religious believer that your TBR should not be 1,000 books. Gina. Should not be 1,000 books. But I am never going to run out of books to read.
Same.
I'm not. So why would I try you again when you obviously don't work for me? I DNF new to me authors literally all the time. But I'm also willing to try your book, especially on like Kindle Unlimited. Because if I don't like it, I can dip on the first page. It does not matter. And that doesn't mean that your book is trash. It means that it doesn't work for me. The way you write doesn't work for me. I'm not interested. And if I'm not interested, I'm going to go find a book that hooks me like from the beginning. And literally more people need to do that because there are people who write the books that you like. Stop wasting your time on somebody that you're like, their style is not for me.
That's if it's, I agree with like reading or writing style. But for me, when I DNF, doesn't always have to do with writing. It can just be the tropes or the story.
Oh yeah.
So that's why I'll usually be like, oh, but now if I read a second and or third and I'm like, okay, now I'm really seeing a pattern in the things you like to write or the way you write or something like that, then I'm be like, okay, I'm gonna let it go. But I'm so sorry. We're the sad truth. We're never gonna get to all the books we want to read.
You're not. So like,
you know what? I'm gonna need your help, Jess, because you're saying that loud on the internet. I'm thinking.
Sorry.
The other day I was thinking about my funeral, and I was thinking like maybe they can just put a couple books in the crypt.
Yeah.
Yes. Give me something to look forward, because I've been trying to make sure my funeral gonna be lit.
Hey, that's the only way.
I mean, that's also a very New Orleans thing of me to be like, the party's gonna be fire. I was trying to tell my friend up north, she wants to come with me to New Orleans, and I was like, hey, I want to show you where I'm gonna be buried. She was like, what? No. We're not doing
Bree,
that.
I went to New Orleans once, but I want to go back with you. That would be an experience. That would be a delight.
I'm just saying, I'm just trying to show folks where your girl gonna lay to rest.
I want to be a tree.
I'm gonna be in the crypt with my grandparents.
I need to write that out because my mama probably won't do that. I told Andrew, I was like, I want to be a tree. He's like, you gotta put that in writing because you know your family is gonna be like, what in the white man is this?
No,
if I try to
you gotta say it. I already told cousins.
I'm like, I'm putting it in writing. I want to be a tree so that I could throw shade for all eternity. Amen.
Not throw shade. I'm just kidding. But
my
like
gosh.
my family, we have like 4 crypts. There's 12 people that can go in each crypt. I'm gonna go in the crypt with my grandparents. So I'm like, put me in there.
Already set up.
Set up. Like smooch, here she comes. It's me. I'm gonna need 2 slots though, at least for the books.
But yeah, put some books under my tree, and also Nigel, who I will have preserved if he leaves me first. So
not preserved.
And you have lost me.
He has to be with me forever.
No can do.
Yeah, I want to be a tree. Gosh, I don't want to be just like some traditional boring thing in the ground. I want to be balled up and then planted with a seed, and then my body, as it deteriorates, it feeds the tree, and then I'm the tree essentially.
But I feel like they can just come back to this video. We've said how we want to be buried, and that's on period. It's on.
Did you ever read the one YA series that ends with them as a tree?
No.
I feel like if you have, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. I've never ever forgiven that series. Ever. Because there was a romance, and one of them spends eternity as a tree, and I was like, this is stupid. I did not spend $3 to end up here where like he's listening to the wind through your branches say his name. That is not happily ever after. I was so mad. I read this, I kid you not, probably 15 years ago, and I am still angry at this ending because I was like, you made a romance. There wasn't no romance. There was a romance in the book, and one of you spent the eternity as a tree for no reason.
That's annoying.
I want a robo dog. Yeah, I need that. If Nigel leaves before me, I don't know that I will be able to go on.
Not go on. I'm gonna go back to Venus comment. What in the white nonsense is that?
He's my life, my child. I thought I wouldn't. I was like, I'm never gonna be one of those crazy dogs. I am. I can't, you know. Yes, I want to be frozen too. Okay, before, if that was an option, I would be cryogenically frozen before becoming a tree.
Like I said, put me in the crypt because in New Orleans you can't bury people under the ground. So put me in the crypt and let's be done.
I literally do not care what happens to my body after I'm dead.
What'd you say?
I don't care what happens to my body after I'm dead.
I do. It's better be a live party and all the.
Now, see, I also want to be donated to science, but only to a specific place, like only to a university that practices anatomy on cadavers. But I don't want to be used as like a test dummy and like
that's cars. Just because you're into that.
I know, but I'm saying like. But I would like
you don't get to observe them from your dead body. That's not how it works.
But I would love to know that future doctors and stuff were practicing. But then once they were finished, they usually cremate. But I don't want to be cremated. I want to then put the rest of me to a tree. I got to work on it.
I'm gonna say this as a person who, have many degrees, and one of them is what you're talking about.
Yeah, you do.
My anatomy class, the cadaver, I was like, man, is all of this necessary? Like after I've done the work that we did on the cadaver, the, ex-human life situation, I was just like, I don't know if this was necessary. So like for me, and I was like, I don't think I want to do this because I thought that too. But after experiencing and being like a student in that regard, I was like, no.
I want to be at least of some use. I don't know.
I just feel like we Black. We've already been of use.
I recommend that you just like be happy with your life rather than like, how can I leave my corpse so that it accomplishes something?
Hey, don't you tell me what to do.
Can't relate.
Me and Heather.
Some of us are happy being average / mediocre. Just, it's cool. Let me live my life in my house reading my books, literally accomplishing nothing of greatness. I am fine with it.
I'm definitely moving towards mediocrity because everybody else is.
I love that for you because you've already accomplished way too much.
Yeah, see, Stiff. I read Stiff. See, that's what I don't want to be. Stiff. Like a crash dummy. It would only be me donate. Like if I lived in Scotland, I would donate my body to the University of Dundee where they have an anatomy lab. But like general donating my body to science, no, because they be having me all out here. I don't want to do that.
I like Stiff. Heather, though, I still have more education to do. Unfortunately, to be bad.
What's next?
PhD.
In what? Psychology?
Finally decide on that. I thought that was up in the air.
I have a PhD, my player haters degree.
So stupid. I spoke with my grandma about it. I did decide, so now I'm trying to like figure it out, but I don't want to make an announcement just yet.
Well, Granny does.
But Granny knows everything.
Obviously.
That one time I didn't tell her I had COVID and she cursed me out. But other than that, Granny knows everything.
The thought of a PhD sounds intriguing to me, but I don't have the patience, the smarts, the money for that.
PhD should always be free 99.
Yeah. Where are you thinking? Do you have like a school or gonna go international?
I'm hoping that I can do it fully online. I just feel like I'm at a time in my life, these 30s is in here. I'm the traveling Bree she's dying slowly. She is not into it. She's trying to find a house that she can stay for 20 plus years.
Traveling is what I like seeing new places, but the act of traveling, I hate it. I'm tired of getting to somewhere. I just want to
I've been to over 30 to 40, 50 places in my life. I'm done.
You sound like I haven't been to that many yet, but my mom's always like, anytime I'm talking about something, she's like, haven't you seen enough? No, ma'am, I haven't. Okay.
It's not that I haven't seen enough. It's just like, I keep thinking about that time. I went all around the world, except 2 continents for 4 months. And I was hopping country, like every 4 to 7 days. I was fucking exhausted.
Mm-hmm. It's tiring.
And I'm just like, it's gonna be girl, these knees aren't Megan. She barely can lift. These knees they cracking.
Ooh, mine too.
Arthritis in them knees. They done told you got Arthur. Young Arthur. Arthur done showed up with his bitch ass nights, and you can't be going around doing things.
Not Arthur and his nights. Yeah, but I am excited for you. Whatever you decide to do with your PhD, can't wait if you make perks of the military. We're not gonna talk about the military and their ghetto ass. They make me sick. I mean, they're the reason we're here, so I'm grateful for that, but they're a mess in general. But I was like, I don't know. I just want to be a professional scholar. Like, I just want to learn things. I don't want to have a job. Like, I just would like to get degrees if they were free. You know what I'm saying? I like to learn and read and stuff and talk about it, but I don't want to get a job.
You sound like my friend. He's like, I'm a lifelong student.
Yes. I just want to be, I just need a legit patron. Obviously I have Patreon, but I'm talking about just like a rich person to fund my life, and I can just learn. Person. And then not get a job about it. I'll be like, yeah, I know these things. I don't want to apply them. I just want to discuss them. I don't dream of labor. I do not want to work.
Same.
I feel like just wanting to know things is very relatable.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to actually work in this field or anything. I just kind of want to know everything.
And obviously I can learn so much from the internet and nonfiction books, but I would love a nice, course of study in some things and have other people on the same level or around to have discussions and debates about, and then be like, ooh, look at my degree. All right. Go on my merry way. That's it.
What's your merry way?
The only thing I would ever I feel like being a college professor has been appealing, but most of them have to have PhDs. But the problem is with academia, one, how it is, racism, trying to get tenure, research, publishing papers. I don't want to do all that. I just want to be like, y'all, here's something cool. Let me tell you about it. Here's my PowerPoint.
This is the thing. Although I want to get a PhD, my main focus is to be like head of a program, like the PI, because like for a lot of things that I want to do, you have to have a PhD to be the principal investigator, or on things. So teaching is gonna be like I don't give a shit about tenure.
See, that's the life, but I ain't got, what I'm mad? I told my family this, how we got all these people, because both of my parents are like one of 9. Okay. You know how many uncles and aunts that is, and everybody's got children. Ain't none of y'all rich. I ain't got no rich relative to leave me no goddamn money. None of y'all, and all of y'all live in the same 2 states. I ain't got nobody living nowhere else. What the hell? What was the point of having all these churn? And they all stayed in the same place, and we all around the same level of money. This is ridiculous. I'm pissed about it. Sorry.
Not you want to fight folks.
I do. I'm like, we don't have a rich random uncle somewhere. Like y'all all in these 2 states. Nobody lives anywhere else.
Random
with some money. Please.
I'm sick like that.
I mean, I feel like that's pretty normal, but
yeah,
right. But persecuted.
I wasn't made to work in this life. Okay, I can't do it.
We're aware. You were made for BookTube. That was your purpose.
Yes, and to be a dog
community
mom.
Fame.
That's my calling. I'm a full-time dog mom. Okay.
We love to see
it.
But I do need to go eat something. My stomach is growling. I'm so sorry.
That's like, we're gonna wrap up
in my life earlier, which is why I had to make some noodles.
Very
excited for my life.
I've had nothing but water and coffee today, and I told my husband, I was like, I really feel like I should probably eat something before this live, but I don't want to eat anything. By the end of the live, I'll probably be like pretty hungry. And he was like, you should eat something. And I was like, yeah, but I don't want to. So
my gosh, Heather, coffee. I'm gonna go make my eggplant rating system, and then I'm gonna post it. Okay, I'm gonna perfect it. I'm gonna come up with my personal heating system. Heating. My personal steam system with my eggplants, and then when I rate romance books, I'm gonna be like, I gave it 3 eggplants, and y'all will know. Okay.
Love to see it.
Yeah, I mean,
I might have to read the Succubus book tonight.
No, straight up. I was on 2 paragraphs, and I said, this might happen today.
For research.
Pi is the fairy, and Averin is the succubus, and they use this monster service, and so he's like a sex worker, and he's also like the curator or the artist, or he's something at the museum. That's how they work together. And or he's the person in charge of restoration, I think, of like all the artwork at the museum that they work together at. And then on the side, he's like a sex worker in this monster app, but it's not all sex. Like it can be other paranormal things. But because she's a succubus and she literally sucks the life force out of you, she has to wear a collar for the monster stuff. And the collar like cuts off your air if you've like taken too much. So there's like a lot of that happening. It's very good. And then on top of that, he's like, I don't care that you hate me. You're going to come for me. And then on top of that, then he has extra body parts and they have wings. So he like does her up against the window looking over the city. It's very, very good. It's very good.
The window.
It's very good. And also his tongue is like a moth tongue. So it like goes like way out and like curls and stuff. That's good. That's good. I highly recommend. Like so much.
Well, I'll have to update you if I do. Well, I would say start. I would be able to finish it tonight because it's short. So.
Oh yeah. No, it's a one sitting type of read.
Yeah.
And then if you love it, they have a full-length book that follows them. It's called Yours Insatiably, and it starts like 2 weeks after Feed. So that was like an accidental thing. They didn't know it would be each other. And then it's them falling in love after that.
Nice. What time?
And you get like a siren.
It's
2 here.
7:55 p.m. So
you're supposed to eat
what
dinner before that.
Today?
What am I doing? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
She's gonna watch some football.
I'm gonna watch the Bengals because they're my husband's favorite team. And last week they won their first playoff game in my lifetime. So we're very hyped.
Not your lifetime.
Literally my lifetime, because I was born in March and football is over by then. And it was 30 years ago they won their last playoff game before last week.
Sheesh.
So, yeah, he was very, very happy. He's been watching them since he was like 8, and they've never won. They've never won anything.
Dang, it'd be like that.
So that's what I'm gonna do. Try and keep kids entertained during a game.
Oh, that sounds difficult. I'm just gonna eat and read. Well, I was playing The Sims, but I don't know.
Now you're gonna read Feed.
Yes. Feed.
Yeah, hopefully I can read as much without falling asleep, because I'm gonna take a lot of drugs after this.
That's probably a good idea. It's a medicine.
Yeah, I feel real loopy. But I did ask my Discord if they wanted to do reading sprints.
Tonight?
Don't do it for the Discord. Feel like, I'm sorry, people.
I'm not gonna be on camera.
But
I'm not gonna be on camera, but it's like I'll be like, we started this time and at that time. You know. Okay. You just
No, I don't know.
Oh, I like that one. It's real nice to do it that way.
I've seen people do that on Twitter sometimes.
Yeah, I think my Discord, we had so much fun last time we did it. That's why I was like, everybody was making pancakes and shit. It was great. People were like, literally, someone said pancakes, and then everybody made pancakes. And then we were sharing our pancakes, and we were just eating pancakes and reading. It was so nice.
Very happy for you.
I know. I was like,
that's
pancakes. Yeah.
Sounds delightful.
All right.
Well, thanks for having
pancakes, but it's fine.
Thanks for having
Thanks for coming on. We'll have to do this again when Bree is at 100%.
I'm so sorry.
I hope you feel better.
Yeah,
ASAP,
personal affront. Deeply offended that you decide to be sick on my live day, because how dare you?
It's a tragedy.
But truly, hope you feel better. Hope you are not sick again in another week. You have been doing. You're very creative. You don't even get the same thing. You're just like, let me try something new. My seasonal allergies that try to kill me aren't enough. Let's try something else.
I don't know, my allergies be taking me out. And I hate it too, because I'll be in a session with someone, like my clients for therapy, and they'll be saying something, and I'm like, choo, choo, like dying. And I'm like, I'm so sorry, I'm a hot mess. But continue. Your mom did what? Continue.
Oh no.
Oh man. But yeah. So I love you guys. If you're not already subscribed, please do. Literally my favorite people. Jess is of community fame. Bree runs the wildly successful Black Readathon.
That's what y'all say.
That's what I say, and I'm going to keep on saying it. And keep it on. The best. So thanks for joining me. Very much appreciate it. We'll see you next week on another live.
Okay, bye.